What's up guys, welcome to the channel. My name is AJ and in this video I want to share with you my favorite cigars to enjoy after a satisfying dinner. So if you just had nice thick cut steak, maybe some barbecue or even some tacos for your evening feast, this is the perfect time to kick back, light up and enjoy a cigar. I'm gonna rank 5 of my favorite cigars to smoke for that evening cigar. I'm going to go over some tasting notes that I get out of it, my own personal experience, and just my overall experience with these cigars. One point I got to make is that on any given night, that cigar that I reach for in my humidor can always change. And simply because I never know really what I'm going to go and pick out of my humidor. The thing is, in my opinion, you don't choose a cigar for the moment. Rather, it's the moment that chooses the cigar. And remember, these are just my own personal favorites. And you want to watch the video all the way through because I'm going to do this ranking a little differently just to spice it up a little bit. I'm going to throw in some insights and tips on how to really get the most out of your evening cigar just to make sure you fully enjoy it, especially after that evening dinner has already taxed your palate. And believe me, this list can go on and on. It's actually pretty difficult trying to pick a top 5 ranking, simply because there's just so many great cigars out there. And like I already mentioned, the right cigar can always change. Okay, we're almost ready to get into that ranking, but first I have some honorable mentions that I could just not leave hanging. The first honorable mention is going to be the Liga Privada H99 in the Toro format. This has a very hearty and savory profile with some sweet hints in there like cherry and chocolate. It's definitely a cigar that will leave you satisfied. The next honorable mention is the CAO Amazon Basin Extra Añejo. This was a favorite of mine all summer. It has tons of sweet notes thanks to that Brazilian tobacco, great flavor transitions, and definitely plenty of strength. It's sold out everywhere online, but some local shops might still have some, so you never know, you might get lucky and find them still. And one last honorable mention is going to be the LFD Lenox. This is a very memorable cigar for me. And you know what? There's something about that second, third, once you get to that transition. I hate to say it, but I got it. There's no other way to describe it. But for me, when that second, third hits, I get this Jolly Rancher cherry note that's just been like phenomenal every time. I've had a few of these already, and you know what? I can't wait to pick up some more. With that said, let the countdown begin. At number 5, we're starting off with the Davidoff Winston Churchill Late Hour in the Churchill Vitola. This is a 7-inch by 48 ring gauge cigar. It's got a very complex mix of tobaccos. So the filler is Dominican and Nicaraguan. The binder is a Mexican San Andres binder, and the wrapper is an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. Retail price is typically around $28. Most of the time, Davidoff is on the mild side, but the Winston Churchill line is definitely the exception. It's got tons of flavor and complexity. With this cigar, I get woodsy notes and some spice notes and some sweetness here and there mixed in as well. It's intended to be a post-dinner cigar, and you know what? It delivers just as you expect it will. Okay, so we're gonna count down some tips as well. So tip number 5, try to avoid lots of hot sauce or extra spicy foods. Foods like this are really gonna dull your palate for quite a bit of time, and it can take away some of that cigar enjoyment. At number 4, this is one of my all-time favorite smokes that has just remarkable consistency, and it's something that is just a pleasure every time I get to have one. And that is the Arturo Fuente Extra Añejo in the 888 Vitola. It is a 6 5/8 inch cigar with a 44 ring gauge. The filler and binder are made in the Dominican, and the wrapper is a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. Retail is typically around $14 for this cigar. This line from Fuente is bourbon barrel aged for 5 years. So because of this, shops only get them maybe once or twice a year, and they can be kind of hard to find sometimes. But if you see it in stock in any Vitola, it's definitely worth a try. I don't know if it's true for certain, but I did read that this is practically an Opus X blend, which is Arturo Fuente's top of the line offering, save for the fact that it doesn't have the same wrapper as the Opus X, but everything else is supposedly the same. All I know is this is my baby right here. When I want something strong and reliable, and that's gonna definitely deliver those savory and sweet notes that I love, this is what I go for. And tip number 4, make sure to cleanse your palate before lighting up. You can brush your teeth, drink some water, eat some palate cleansing food. If you can do all 3 of these, that's perfect. At the very least, rinse out your mouth, drink some water. I like to have a few raw almonds before I smoke as well. At number 3, I'm going with a smoke that just completely blew me away the first time I had one, and that is the Plasencia Almafuerte Generation 5 Solomon. This cigar is a 7-inch cigar with a 58 ring gauge. This cigar is also a Nicaraguan puro, which means that all the tobacco in this cigar is from one destination, Nicaragua. Filler, binder, and wrapper. Retail price is typically around $22. It's a Solomon shape, so it's bulbous at the foot and tapers down all the way to the head of the cigar. It's also box pressed, which gives this cigar a very unique and distinct shape. This is a big boy cigar, so bear it in mind that this thing can burn for 2.5 to 3 hours easily. But don't let that long smoke time deter you away from taking this journey. Because what I absolutely love the most about this cigar is the very distinct transitions between each third. It is just a beauty to smoke. It was like picking up a different cigar at each third. Just amazing. And tip number 3, try to postpone that cigar for just a little bit. I like to wait at least 30 minutes before I light up. The longer you wait, the better it is for your palate to get reset and be able to pick up all those flavor notes. At number 2, when I want a full dose of that vitamin N, I'm reaching for a Padron cigar. And that is no other than the Padron 1964 Natural in the Imperial Vitola. This is a 6-inch by 54 ring gauge cigar that is box pressed. It's also a Nicaraguan puro, which means every tobacco leaf in this cigar is made from the Nicaragua. Retail price is typically around $18. Smoking a Padron is truly a unique experience. The quality of construction and the burn and the draw is just on another level. When you light up this cigar and take that first puff, you're going to see why it's at the top of a lot of smokers' lists. And when it comes to the flavor, it delivers that extremely well. In my mind, this is what I imagine that the first cigar ever rolled was intended to taste like. It gets this very earthy and woodsy and honestly, quite literally tobacco flavor that I just rarely get in any other cigar. I also get tasting notes like pepper and coffee and some dark chocolate in there as well, but just something about this cigar feels so unique and authentic. And speaking of those strong flavors, tip number 2, you want to make sure you pick a cigar that has intense flavors. A great option is to go for Maduro cigars. That dark and oily wrapper is a great option for you to pick in order to stimulate your palate after that dinner. And in my number 1 spot, I gotta hand it down to the Opus X Perfection in the 888 Vitola. It measures 6 7/8 inches by 44 ring gauge. Filler, binder, and wrapper are all made in the Dominican, making this cigar a Dominican Republic puro. Some cigars just hit differently, and this cigar right here takes everything I love about the extra añejo that I mentioned earlier, and it just maxes out every attribute. And nothing delivers that perfect combination of sweet and spice like tobacco from the Dominican. This cigar has so much complexity. I get sweet notes, floral notes, pepper notes, and of course that full dosage of vitamin N. And it's just a phenomenal cigar, and in any Vitola, to be honest with you. So if you see them in stock, it's definitely worth a shot. And the last tip is to make sure to go medium to full in body and in strength. Being on a full stomach means a mild cigar is just not going to hit you as hard. Reaching for a mild cigar like a Connecticut is just going to be a very lackluster experience after dinner. While they do have nice flavor notes, they're just too subtle for stimulating your palate and to give you that relaxation that it could give you if you smoke it at a better time. It's just not the time for it right now. Which is also why everything I mentioned in this list is going to be either medium to full. And if you tried these cigars before or you're planning to now, let me know what you think about them in the comments section. I'm definitely looking forward to reading about your experiences as well. Also, guys, I'm really grateful for the amazing response and the great feedback I've been getting on my videos so far. I just really got to say thank you all so much. There's a lot more content planned and coming up soon. Also, just let me know if you guys have any questions or any content that you might want to see. Just let me know what you think in the comment section. And don't forget to tap that like button. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.